Welcome to Region Sports Desk. This is our Week 3 recap. As always, I'm JT Hoyo. My partners couldn't be here tonight to record the show, so it looks like I'm going to go solo. I'm going to go down the list of all the games from this past week. I'm going to give you a little bit of analysis, tell you what happened. I'm going to come out with our top 10 list for Week 4. So, our first game, Lowell, playing Kankakee Valley. They were our #1 team in our top 10 for this week. They beat down Kankakee Valley 40-13. Brandon Gruby came back. He was out with a concussion last week. He came back, scored 3 touchdowns. Easy win for Lowell. Munster playing Highland. Munster shut out Highland 28-0. It was actually a ball game going into the fourth quarter. It was 14-0 going into the fourth. Munster put up 2 scores. They won 28-0. They racked up 275 yards on the ground. Justin Gill had a touchdown catch. Overall, Munster didn't have a lot of trouble. They shut out Highland. DAC beatdown. Maryville beat down Crown Point 38-14. We told you it was going to be a blowout. I didn't win my game against Wayne this week, but I was right. I told you all that Maryville would beat down Crown Point, and they did just that. Statement game 38-14. Denzel Pierce had 2 rushing touchdowns. Was Popovich added 2 more on the ground, and he also threw for 1. Morton dominated Clark 41-3. Battle of Hammond, easy game for Morton. Clark, they were 2-0 going into the game, but just team speed of Morton. It was just total domination. Morton winning 41-3. Andrean playing East Chicago Central. No problems with them. They won 54-7. Schmidt had a field day through the air, threw 4 touchdown passes. They had no problems with East Chicago. Wheeler, obviously I'm not surprised they won the game. I'm not surprised they put up a lot of points, but to put up 0 for Whiting, 63-0. I mean, it was total domination by Wheeler. Offensively, 600 yards total offense. 600 yards. And O'Shea threw for 4 TDs. I mean, this wasn't even a contest. I mean, this is actually probably one of Wheeler's toughest conference games, and they beat down Whiting, 63-0. That's pretty impressive. And down the road, you're going to see a lot more games, 60, maybe even 70 points. So, pretty impressive. Rensselaer playing North Judson. We didn't talk about this game in our Week 3 show. We didn't talk about it. But for 2A ball, this was a big game. Rensselaer won 13-6, a defensive struggle. Both of these teams are schools that Wheeler's going to have to worry about when it comes sectional time. And Rensselaer got the best of North Judson, 13-6. Calumet 6-0 over North Newton. This is another game. I was a little bit surprised. I wasn't surprised that River Forest beat Lake Station, but to put up 38 points, I was absolutely shocked when I saw that score. 38 points. It's probably more than they're going to score the rest of the season, which is unfortunate for them. But River Forest beat Lake Station. Hats off to River Forest. That might be your only win of the season. This was a game that we missed. This was a game that Joe and I missed this week. Griffith at home, the Boneyard hosting Hobart, big rivalry game. Griffith beat Hobart 30-21. It basically, grinded it out. I mean, they started looking like the Griffith Panthers, and just when you wanted to count them out and say their season was done, they were able to come through and win a big game. Hobart's down this year, and Griffith's, so far they've looked like they're down. But to come with the first win of the season, I was impressed with that. Hammond beat Chicago Charter 42-0. West Side beat Chicago Roberson South Bend Riding dominated Gannett, 58-13. Lou Wallace beating LaPorte Lallemure. Thornridge beat Roosevelt. I mean, these were just kind of other games on the board. Most of these games I didn't really mention in our Week 3 show. But our big games. First of all, Wayne, I gotta put my hat off to you. You beat me this week. I don't like doing this, but I gotta be a man about it. Bishop Knoll beat South Central 33-26. I thought South Central, given what they did the last couple of years, I thought they would pull through. It was a close game in the fourth quarter. It was 27-26. It was a close game. Bishop Knoll held on, and Wayne, I got to give you a mark for this. So that's your first one. That's your first mark, Wayne. And I'm going to get that back. I'm going to get that one back. And hopefully it's going to be this week, because I'm not happy at all about this either. Not happy. But let's go to our big games. Our big games, starting off Portage Lake Central. This is a big rivalry. The Blue Indians and the Red Indians. Portage, their offense looked great. Jake Dixon, 4 touchdowns. Portage wins 27-0. Shuts out Lake Central. The offense looked impressive. Their defense was very opportunistic. They forced a few fumbles. They got an interception down in the red zone. Lake Central, they were able to move the football. This is an alarming statistic. Lake Central put up 275 yards on the ground. Something Portage is going to have to really improve on in the coming weeks when they face teams like Chesterton, LaPorte, Valparaiso, Michigan City. These are all teams that like to run the football. You give up 275 yards consistently on the ground, you're going to lose a lot of football games, but you still got to feel good about a shutout. Portage won 27-0. So, hats off to Portage. They're 2-1. Another big game. This was our upset special. The Times had Valpo number 4 in their poll, and LaPorte not even ranked. So, I mean, in a lot of people's eyes, this was still seen as an upset. And LaPorte beat Valpo 28-21. They came back in the fourth quarter. They were losing. They were down 21-14. They basically pounded the ball right at them. They came out in the wishbone, and they just, totally wore down Valpo's defense. Dustin DeMuth had 3 rushing touchdowns. He racked up about 149 yards rushing. He also threw a touchdown pass. I mean, he had a huge game for LaPorte. Also, Nick Latchford had a nice game. LaPorte put up 450 yards of total offense, 300 on the ground. Their offense just absolutely wore down Valpo's defense. And, unfortunately, I see this really slipping up for Valpo. Our game of the week, Michigan City Chesterton. Michigan City. This was a signature win for them. They come in, they beat Chesterton 31-21. Rod Washington had a big day. Adam Harmon, 2 rushing touchdowns. Chesterton, they were turning the ball over. 4 turnovers. That's just not going to get it done. Michigan City, you're getting my megaphone this week. You earned it. You deserve it. And that's why you're number 1 in our poll this week. Our top 10 poll, number 10 Wheeler. They came in unranked. But, I mean, I know they beat a pretty bad Whiting squad. But, we want to make this poll as balanced as possible. Wheeler, they're going to come in at number 10. Morton comes up 1 spot to number 9. Andrean, they were number 9 last week. They moved up a spot to number 8. Munster, they were number 6 last week. I mean, yeah, they looked all right. They played against Highland. They come down 1 spot to number 7. Maryville moves up another spot to number 6 after their beatdown at Crown Point. Chesterton, they lost to Michigan City. We're going to move them down a few spots to number 5. LaPorte, they jump up from 8 to number 4. LaPorte's for real, folks. They're 3-0. First DAC win. Watch out for LaPorte in the coming weeks. Portage came up to number 3 from number 4 last week. Lowell, we're going to drop them a spot to number 2. And Michigan City, it's unanimous. I talked to Joe, I talked to Mike. We all voted Michigan City is your number 1 team in the region for this week number 4. So folks, we're going to come out with the next video pretty soon, in a couple days from Maryville High School. As always, I'm JT. We'll see you next video.